There are no shortcuts to getting highly coveted press coverage for your brand, only smart cuts like the DIY PR project. Learn how to grow your brand's credibility with PR on a budget with me by your side. This program is your all-in-one membership with expert training, customizable templates, and a supportive community to cheer you on every step of the way. Join us and start growing your business with free publicity today. Sign up now at diy-pr.com. Hey friends, welcome back to Grow Your Wealth. I'm your host, Rena Goodwin, founder of FACTEUR PR and the DIY PR project. And today is one for those especially building product-based businesses. So whether you're a skincare founder, a wellness innovator, or launching the next great pantry staple, this segment is for you. So let me paint the picture, okay? You might be pouring everything into your brand right now, obsessing over the formula, the packaging, the mission. You've done your founder's photo shoot. You're posting on social media. Maybe you've even been working with influencers. Your marketing is diversified the way that everybody says that you should diversify it. But perhaps where things are not going as planned is in the media coverage category, which I love to talk about FACTEUR PR and in my DIY PR project program, because you could be sending samples, emailing editors, maybe even working with a PR team, but perhaps you're still getting passed over for opportunities. And you might be wondering why other brands, even ones that seem less impressive, are getting more press coverage than me. The truth is that some of my CPG clients right now are actually getting more press coverage without actually increasing their budget on things like getting the press coverage in the first place. So I want to kind of peel back the layers a little bit and talk more about this, because the reality is that it is no longer just about having the best product, because the landscape of media has changed. Years ago, it was enough to have a beautiful product, a standout product even, and a thoughtful pitch. Editors also had more freedom to cover what they personally loved and what they had personally vetted. Now, they're working with limited space. They're working with very clear marching orders sometimes too, which quite frankly includes only featuring products that are affiliated, not affiliated with a person, but affiliated with a merchant so that they can be commission generating. So that's right. Media outlets are businesses too. And we need to think not just like a business owner to our business, but with these media outlets operating as businesses too. Most of these media outlets are under pressure now to monetize every link that they include in a story. So it's no longer just about product quality or aesthetics and brand. It's about the back end setup that determines whether you're even eligible to be included. So if you are new to this concept, here is what we need to know. First of all, why is press coverage even necessary anymore or even relevant anymore? It's because press does still matter when it comes to building brand recognition and trust. Press matters because it helps build long-term brand credibility. It helps boost discoverability on Google AI. It also gives you content to reuse, repurpose, and leverage in your ads, your email, your retail decks, and more. And ultimately, it helps you close those deals and convert cold leads into warm buyers. Okay. That being said, to be able to seize that coverage and earn that media coverage is more challenging than it was a couple years ago. And affiliates have really changed the game. Affiliate marketing is when a publisher, like an editor, particularly a commerce editor or a market editor, or maybe it's a content site, they earn a small commission when someone clicks on your product link and makes a purchase. So when a writer is working on a roundup of the best face oils or the best new gifts for moms, they're literally required to include products that offer affiliate commission rev shares, basically, back to the publisher. Okay. So if you get featured in a roundup of best new sunscreens, the times that you click on the products in that roundup will go to Amazon, we'll go to Nordstrom, we'll go to the direct to consumer website. You make a purchase. The media outlet makes a commission on that purchase. And it's not uncommon that when we see these in the roundups, that almost every single link in that roundup is a commissionable link. I once had a conversation with a journalist that told me that she was required to select products that would make around $1,000 in affiliate commission per roundup. So that's what we're talking about here. So if you are sitting here today, you're a product-based business and you're wondering, how can I make not just my products or my brand affiliate friendly, but affiliate competitive? Pay attention, because here's what we do. Okay. If you sell through your own website, what you need to do is make sure that your affiliates on your website are able to sell through skim links. So I'll talk about that here in just a second, but the programs that you want to look for specifically to earn a greater volume and better quality of media coverage and some of these covetable roundups and so forth, you're going to want to look into programs like ShareASale, like Impact, like Rakuten, like CJ, especially if you're selling through Shopify. Most of our clients at Factor PR, if they're e-com brands, they sell through Shopify. So these are great, great options for them. One I would caution you actually away from is called reversion. And the reason being, we just recently learned, not through our recommendation, but just happened to learn that they require a certain number of clicks from publishers to be featured as a Skimlinks merchant. Now, why am I mentioning Skimlinks? It's because Skimlinks in particular is the provider in terms of the affiliates that we want to make sure that your brand is showing up on. Because let's say a commerce editor from Hearst is interested in featuring your products, they're not going to sign up for your proprietary affiliate network. They're going to sign up through whoever is already available via Skimlinks. Okay, so picking your affiliate provider is really, really important. They have to be Skimlinks compatible. So I gave you a few suggestions, but certainly you're going to want to do your own research just based on, what your e-commerce store is built on. Now, if you're selling through retailers like Amazon, Target, Revolve, and so forth, you are probably already affiliate friendly, but don't assume. So make sure that the links that you're sharing work with Skimlinks, because that's the magic tool most editors rely on to quickly turn those links into income. Now, again, on the direct-to-consumer side of things, don't be afraid to also be generous with your commission. As I mentioned, it's not enough anymore just to have affiliates, especially if you are a new brand or you're a smaller brand, okay? Think about it. If you're an editor and you're going back to the sunscreen example, and you decide that you're going to feature Neutrogena as a sunscreen. Okay, what does Neutrogena have that your brand doesn't have? It already has immense brand awareness. We know Neutrogena is a multi-million, if not billion-dollar company, right? So as an editor, I'm going to feel confident including Neutrogena in my roundup because I feel confident that Neutrogena is going to sell. Okay. If we're not feeling so confident, maybe you're a new brand, maybe you don't have a lot of reviews, things like that. If you can't compete with Neutrogena, obviously, but where you can kind of start to compete is by offering a more generous commission. So we're seeing a trend of editors, sometimes favoring brands and including them that are offering somewhere between a 15 to 20% commission. So think of this as like a marketing expense, one that's going to open doors to valuable earned media that you can repurpose if that higher commission rate feels a little bit scary to you. And remember, you can change it also, okay? But it's not just about showing up in affiliates. It's about showing up with a competitive edge to be able to ultimately secure press coverage and more visibility, because these roundups in particular, they're there to really sell. So that's in the best intention of the media outlet because of the commissions, and also the best intention for your business too. So number one, get affiliate friendly and get affiliate competitive. Okay. Hey there, I want to invite you to join our Grow Your Wealth community over on Slack. It's a safe space to network and connect with podcast guests, entrepreneurs, and wellness minded pros just like you. Head to growyourwealthpodcast.com/community to join us. That's growyourwealthpodcast.com/community. I look forward to seeing you over there. Okay. Number two, reviews. Reviews of your products matter, and they are part of your PR strategy. So journalists not only care about commissions, of course, but they care about social proof. I've seen editors visit a product and get interested and bounce because they've only seen one or two reviews they've told us, or none at all. They say, come back when this product's got more reviews. Now, let me take you back a little bit. I actually started my career in journalism, and once upon a time, it was an editor's duty to review and report and preview products. And not to say that those days are over, but reporters like to report now, report on things that have already happened. So it's a little chicken and the egg where, right, you want a journalist to feature your product so that you get more sales and reviews. But now they're asking, because they're required to make commission on your product, if they're not seeing the social proof, they're not seeing the reviews, there's a little bit of a shortfall for the brand as well, right? So remember, press isn't just about exposure, it's about credibility. And if someone's writing about your product, they want to know, honestly, that other people have tried it, loved it, and shared their honest thoughts around that as well too. I'm seeing way less of, breaking news. A journalist is the first to give you the behind the scenes of this brand or this product that people aren't as familiar with, or that has just launched, unless you've got an enticing angle attached to it. So something like a celebrity endorsement or things along those lines, right? That can kind of break through from just having to rely on things like affiliates and social proof. So if you are not really spending as much time on building a library of reviews on your product, it's time to really prioritize that. So follow up with your customers. If you haven't launched yet, give some product away and have people write a review. Offer incentives for repeat purchases and reviews. Showcase them not just on your site, but on your retail pages as well too, because editors, just like customers, want to feel confident hitting publish on your story. Number three, this one is kind of a twofer. Get gift ready. Rename your products. Okay. Let's talk about one of my favorite quick wins is renaming your existing products or bundles and sets for key media moments. Okay. I want to tell a story with this one. So we had a client called the Tea Spot. I may have mentioned them previously, and the Tea Spot wanted to promote some of its absolutely exquisite teas for Mother's Day. And they had this cute little bundle with a teapot and some teas. And I can't remember what it was called, but it was something like, satin tea bundle. Well, our PR team came in and said, great, this definitely seems like it would appeal to mothers. We can pitch this for Mother's Day, but let's rename this bundle. And we ended up renaming it something like Mama's Tea Time or something like that. Mommy and Me Tea Time, something along those lines. And what this helps with is with SEO, right? Because if you're looking up a gift idea for your parent, you're going to look up, tea ideas for mom, Mother's Day gift sets for mom, Mother's Day teas for mom. So it's great from a marketing perspective, but particularly as we're also seeing a lot of writers updating stories, writing stories based on SEO. If you can do them a solid and offer them an optimized, SEO optimized named product. Okay, so in this case, something for Mother's Day, put Mother's Day in the title. If it's something for Christmas time, put something about, glowing or holiday or something like that in the title. If it's something that is maybe for travel, maybe call it the travel glow up kit. Or if it's a product that's specific for sober October, call it the sober October set, right? SEO is really, really important, not just for things like Google and Google Shopping, but also for AI discovery, which as of April 2025, ChatGPT has revealed that they are also recommending products specifically. And so going back to the T-spot, by renaming this particular kit for Mother's Day, we saw not a 50% in increased media inclusions for this kit from the year prior. Saw a 500% increase in media inclusions. We were getting press coverage in Yoga Journal and Marie Claire, among many, many others. So this is something, again, doesn't have to cost you a dime, right? Now, obviously, if we're talking about rechanging the packaging and things like that, that's a whole other thing. But look into these smaller lifts for your business that can help create huge, huge impact, just kind of changing the wrapper, so to speak. Okay. Number 4, photography. Photography is so important. For the love of God, don't use AI photography for your products. Okay. Journalists know this. They sniff it out. It's not a good look. I want you to think about real quality photography because it can make or break your chance at being featured in something like a gift guide or any sort of review of your product as well too. Media wants high-res imagery. They want this both product on white is the most important thing. So think about your product, your line of products, whatever that looks like, on a white, crisp background. That is the number one type of photography that journalists are looking for. Lifestyle shots are great too. They don't get as much play, but it's important to at least have the product on white photography, and then you can infuse some lifestyle imagery as well too. Make it easy also for the journalists to find these photos. If you're sending out a pitch, as we talk about in the DIY PR project, you're going to want to include something like an electronic press kit, aka an EPK, or just linking something as simple as a Google Drive full of photos is totally fine too. Just make sure they're easy to find and easy to sort by labeling folders with particular products, and certainly labeling the image file itself too. Okay. A good pitch matters, don't get me wrong, but I've seen a great product with great images always gets more coverage than a great product with not so great images. So invest in your visuals. They truly do pay for themselves. And, again, think about it in terms of not just for media coverage, but this is content that you can use all across your social, your web, your media kit, and so forth too. Now, the final tip that I want to give you today, and this is really the secret sauce, my friend, and what I see brands are starting to lean more into, which is so fantastic, but we're not quite there yet all across the board. If you are a product-based business, I want you to think about partnering with credible experts to promote your brand, okay? Because especially in like a field like beauty, wellness, we do a lot of that at Factor PR. There's really nothing more powerful than a dermatologist or an esthetician or a health expert endorsing your product in their own media appearances or on their own social feeds through their own content. We call these people key opinion leaders or KOLs. And when you align with someone who's not just an influencer, but a trusted expert, somebody that does, dermatology as their day job, right? You gain third-party credibility that no ad or founder quote can really match. Okay. So again, PR is all about building third-party credibility, endorsements from a third party. And it's a lot more credible, right? When we've got other people saying great things about our brand or our products than us saying it. That's the difference between marketing, which is us talking about how great we are, and the difference between PR, which is others talking about how great you are. I sometimes share this quote from author S.H. Simmons that sums this up perfectly. And I'm going to give this analogy, gender pronouns aside, okay? If a young man and a young woman are on a date together and the young man tells the young woman how fabulous he is and why she should date him, that is called advertising. If the young man tells the young woman that she's a great conversationalist, he loves getting to know her, and he thinks they would be the perfect match, that is called marketing. Now, as a young man and the young woman are sitting there and someone else comes to the table and says, "Girl, you're on a date with this guy. He's amazing. What a good guy. You're so lucky." That is called PR, right? That is called PR. When someone else can say something great about your personal brand or your business brand, that's called PR. And you can see when it comes to influence, how much sway and conviction is in that. And that's what we are building when we work with key opinion leaders, because we already trust experts, right? So we're going to trust them when they recommend a product also too. But the reason why I want you to think about working with key opinion leaders on this initiative instead of traditional influencers is that most influencers just don't have as much credibility, right? And there are influencers out there that cover skincare, for example, but they're not an esthetician. They're not licensed in their trade. They just have really good taste. The media is not going to bite on that. They're going to bite on someone with a credible voice who is licensed, who is educated, who does this for a living. So pairing up with experts in your space that can endorse your product, that can go on record and talk about not just your brand, but talk about the context around your brand and position your brand or position your products as solutions to problems for their readers is going to help you undoubtedly amp up the volume and the quality of media coverage that you are trying to seize for your product-based business. Okay, so let's wrap this up. What are the things that we need to consider when we are increasing our media coverage at no extra cost if you are a CPG client? Okay, number one, affiliates. Gotta make sure that you don't just have affiliates friendly products, but you can be competitive with affiliates. Now, I know that I said we're not spending any extra money, right? We're sharing the revenue with the media in this case as well, right? You sometimes have to give and take to be able to make it to that next level as a business owner. And here we are giving a little bit of extra commission in order to hopefully take the opportunity to be placed in some of these coveted media roundups. Okay, so affiliate competitiveness. Secondly, incentivize reviews of your products with existing customers. Number three, get your products SEO ready, giftable as well too. Think about renaming your products for seasonality, for gifting opportunities, and so forth. Number four, remember, looks matter. Imagery is oftentimes, especially online, our first entry point in getting to know a brand. You only get one first impression, so make sure that your imagery is high resolution and most importantly that it's high quality, preferably products on white backgrounds. And last but not least, seeking out and securing expert endorsements and partnerships. If you're working with a PR agency where we're able to sort of skirt around paying experts for their endorsements and getting them featured in the media, is that they're getting the benefit of the PR agency for the brand, in which case us also pitching them too, right? So this can be a nice maneuver around having to compensate some of these experts because they're getting the value of the earned media coverage for their personal brands to use as well. This is also why we created Realfluence. This is the first of its kind platform that connects specifically beauty brands with real beauty experts to form authentic partnerships that move the needle for your business. So if you're in the beauty or wellness space and want to amplify your brand through real people, through real relationships, definitely check out therealfluence.com. Okay. So there you have it, folks. Let's come back now to where we started. Yes, press coverage might not always create this immediate impact in sales. But remember, that one article, that's leverage. It's a trust builder. It's an asset you can stack on top of your email funnels, your ads, your retail pitches, your investor decks. And when you start stacking those stories over time, that's when the momentum really builds. That's when you can go back to your website and have those dreamy as seen in logos that instantly differentiate your products from your competitors. So if you're ready to stop being the best kept secret and start stepping into the spotlight, you do have options. You can absolutely DIY your PR with the DIY PR project. You can visit DIY-PR.com. At Factor PR, we help CPG brands land national media coverage and turn that recognition into lasting revenue. You can learn more at FACTEURPR.com. And through RealFluence, as I mentioned, we help you connect with beauty experts. If you're a beauty brand, or if you're a beauty expert, connect with a beauty brand so that you can amplify your brand with real credibility. And you can learn more about that at therealfluence.com. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And remember, it's not just about doing all of the things and doing more. It's about doing what works. Today, I shared 5 easy to implement ideas to help take your CPG brand from hidden to the headlines. Let me know how it works for you. If you have any questions at all, we'd love to see you in the Grow Your Wealth community as well. You can head to growyourwealthpodcast.com/community, where we can keep the conversation going and talk more about this and other business growth perspectives. I'm Rena Goodwin. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode deposited some useful advice and insights to help you grow your wealth. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future conversations. You can find more resources, episode details, and updates at growyourwealthpodcast.com. And let's keep the conversation going on Instagram. Follow me at Grow Your Wealth Podcast. I'd love to hear your thoughts, questions, or takeaway from today's show. Until next time, remember, burnout is optional. Take care, and I'll see you next week.